Hey everybody, Nichol Magouirk here, and today I have a card set for the Mama Elephant June Stampede blog hop featuring one of their newest stamp sets, Water Blooms. I decided for my project today that I wanted to combine a couple of things that I particularly love right now. One, creating simple one-layer cards that don't necessarily look boring. Even if you're creating a one-layer card, you still want it to look dimensional, I guess is what I want to say, and have, things of interest, but you want to keep it non-bulky so that it can be mailed easily. And that's just something that I have really been doing a lot of lately. I just love the look of those kinds of cards. They're easy to mail and all of that. And so the other thing I wanted to showcase was how easy it is to take, for example, this large floral stamp here that I'm coloring and color it in with some stamp markers so that you get a multicolored stamped image that's definitely more interesting to look at than, say, stamping this all in one color. So you could see there that I originally had thought that I would stamp or color in those floral blooms and then highlight them in the lilac color and then highlight them with a bit more of the darker pink or purple. And I decided I didn't like that, so I just colored over it with my purple, and I'm going to do something different there. So I colored in the florals with the light purple and the little accent dots there in a darker magenta or raspberry color, I believe it is. And I'm coloring in the leaves with a couple of colors of green. I colored them all over with a lighter green, and then I'm adding an accent color with a bit darker green. So it's very easy to do. It isn't very time consuming. In fact, I created all three of these cards in like less than 30 minutes. It was really quick. So once you've colored all of that in, you're going to want to probably re-moisten the stamp. And one of the best ways to do that, it's called huffing. And it just means you blow warm air from your mouth directly onto the stamp and stamp it then onto your paper. And by doing that, blowing that warm air on the stamp, it re-moistens those inks. Now, if I had used a different type of marker, say the Tim Holtz distress markers that react really well with water, I could have misted those with a little bit of water, maybe using the little mini mister, and then stamped that on my paper. That would have given me a more watercolor type effect, not as crisp of edges on the final stamped image. So it's really up to you what kind of markers you want to use. For this one, I really wanted that detail, that defining detail. And I should also say, with the Tim Holtz markers, you wouldn't have to mist those if you didn't want to. That's just one of the benefits of using them, is that they do react with water, as opposed to these Stampin' Up! Markers that really, you won't get the same effect. So I'm just showing how I'm creating my card. You can see that I stamped the one kind of off the edge of the one corner. I stamped my greeting using the Memories black ink. And I'm going to color in my image again. I didn't clean it off in between or anything like that. Just coloring it all in. It's really quick and easy. I'm using the brush tip. If I wanted to go over my already stamped image and add some additional detailing, you can do that really easily with either the brush tip or the fine tip. I really don't need to for this particular project, but that's very easy to do as well. Now I'm going to show you what I did using the single stamps and these same markers here in a second too. Another fun way to be able to use your stamp markers with your stamp, with these stamps. So I'm just stamping again this larger stamped image above the greeting And now I want to fill in with some smaller stamps. Now, since I'm using the individual stamps, I really wouldn't need to use the stamp markers, especially if you have, say, the coordinating stamp pads. So I did color this in with a marker. You can if you want to, if you don't want to get the stamp pad, or maybe you don't have it. But one of the best ways and the most time-effective ways is to take your individual stamps, lay them out where you're going to want to stamp those, like in the arrangement that you want them. So I am just going to kind of lay these out along the top of my design. And you definitely want some of them going off the edge of your project. I think that gives a much more natural look for the card. And then take an acrylic block and pick all of those up. And then just like with the larger stamped image, color them all in. You can color them all in on your block and stamp them all at once to create the same effect that you did with that larger stamped image. So it just is another way to really save time, to make sure I have those stamps exactly in the placement where I laid them on my card. So all I have to do is line that up and then press it into place. And you could do this with as many stamps as you need to. And you can see the little dots there didn't stamp all the way. I'm not quite sure what the problem was. Sorry, my head is in the way. I had to get that lined back up perfectly. Press that down really good. And there you can see it filling in. Now it doesn't look like that large stamped image stamped once in one corner and then once above the greeting. It kind of gives that nice flow or feeling of florals all the way through the card. I just love how this looks. So although I'm just showing you the purple version of the card, I did the same thing with both the green and the blue, just using different colors of ink, which are all listed on my blog post. So again, I'm going to line up my stamps along the bottom here and do the exact same thing that I just did above. And I'm going to speed through this now because it is just the same thing, but that way you can kind of watch my process and how I laid out my stamps and things like that. Just figuring out how it looks the best, rearranging. And this is a gorgeous stamp set that can be used in so many different ways. I just love it. It's really beautiful. Coloring in all of my stamps. Line that up and I'll stamp it right there. That one stamp's giving me a little bit of trouble. There we go. And any space left there, I'm going to fill in with some of the individual little stamps here. I needed to add another little leaf or branch down below, kind of even everything out. And then there's some great little individual dots that I am just going to fill in all over the place that really just customize it and even it all out and complete the card. Finally, I'm going to add detail with a glitter pen. I'm just adding some random little sparkle dots, not to all of those darker raspberry stamped dots, but just here and there. Add some subtle sparkle and sheen to my card. Just go all the way through my card using that. And then I will take a white pen and add some detail to the flowers themselves. So I'll speed through the rest of this because it was very quick and easy. And the last step was adding some Doodlebug gems to the center of the large florals. Very quick and easy, and I have a card set perfect for lots of occasions. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and check out the rest of the Mama Elephant Stampede projects on the Mama Elephant blog. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.